Come on, everybody. Here we go. Off to Weberland.
Hi, friends.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to our podcast. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are Adventures in Weberland,
Yay.
episode 24.
24. We're getting there.
We are getting there. Where are we getting to? We're just going?
No. The first goal, 100 or 50.
Yeah, I think so. We've been pretty consistent up until now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're just going to keep going with it.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
What's that?
Not really a fact, but I actually just found out because I was going through Instagram. The first night of the Christmas party, Very Merry Christmas Party, is sold out officially.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Then-
That's the night we're going.
Oh. And the tickets will come back on sale the night we're there.
I don't think that's how it works.
Happens.
No, the only reason why that happened when we were there for the Halloween party is because of Hurricane Ian.
Okay.
That night it sold out.
That makes sense.
And people couldn't fly into Orlando because of the hurricane. So they reopened the ticket sales for the Halloween party the night we went.
Okay.
That was what? 2 years ago? No.
Could be.
2 years ago. Wow.
And we'll have Snope.
I know, we will. I'm excited. We've only done the Christmas party once, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. I love
The parade.
Christmas time in Disney World.
Christmas. Well, you like the parade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not what this episode's about, or maybe it is. I don't know.
No.
So I actually recently got a message from someone I went to high school with asking for a little bit of advice. They are taking their kids to Disney World for the first time, and they have actually never been to Disney World either, the parents. So the question was, what do we do? Where do we go? What do we eat? What parks do we go to? And I'm like, you know what? What advice do you give someone that has never been to Disney World before? It's their first time going, whether it's, adults or adults and children.
Yeah.
These are people who, might only know what they see on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that it would be a good discussion for you and I to kind of go back and forth. Someone's going to Disney World for the very, very, very first time. What are things that they should experience if maybe they don't plan on going back for a while? Like, these are things they need to do to get the full Disney experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Do everything.
It's impossible. It's literally impossible to do everything in Disney World.
We still haven't.
No, and we probably never will. It's literally impossible because there's always new things, right? There's always they take things away and they bring new things out. So it's literally impossible to do every single thing.
Keeps it fresh.
Yeah, and especially when the seasons change.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that maybe we can just kind of go through a resort, a good resort to stay in if it's your first time visiting Disney World. Maybe one or two places that you should try a meal, maybe a sit-down meal or, something on the go, quick service, something like that. And maybe some rides you shouldn't miss. And anything else, any type of entertainment or anything else you want to kind of sprinkle in. This isn't necessarily things that are our favorite choices, because some of our favorite choices might be a little maybe a behind the scenes type of thing, or something that is not good for someone experiencing Disney for the first time. So
you want the full Disney experience. It's different answers to me.
I agree. So for instance, I'll start if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with where you should stay.
Where am I staying?
If you are visiting Disney World for the first time, whether it's an adult-only trip or it's a family trip with children, I suggest that you stay at Art of Animation.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes.
I like that one.
So it is a value resort, but they do have suites on property. There's actually only one section of the resort that has kind of like a regular studio room, and that's the Little Mermaid section. But you have the Lion King, you have Cars, and you have Nemo. And all three of those sections are suites. So they're basically like 1-bedroom suites. You have a little living room area. You have a small kitchenette. It's not, it's not like staying at one of the deluxe resorts in a 1-bedroom where you have a full kitchen. It's not a full kitchen, but it does the job. You have a sink, you have a microwave, you have a refrigerator. And then you have 2 bathrooms. And literally a bedroom with a door that closes.
It's much bigger than like a regular room at like the All Stars or something, and it's a little more money, but you're immersed in Disney and you get that Disney feeling, and I think that's a great choice. So.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I picked it too. The value resorts especially really do Disney-fy your trip, right? Obviously, a deluxe resort is amazing to stay at. All the resorts on property are amazing to stay at. But like Ryan said, it is a little bit more money when it comes to a value room because it's bigger, because it is a suite. But you're going to be paying less for that than you are a 1-bedroom suite staying at a deluxe resort. That's not going to give you all of that, Disney stuff.
It's right in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. And I think even the travel is right in the middle, and the room is a good size.
Yeah.
You don't feel claustrophobic or anything like that. And I don't know. I agree with you. I actually think that is my choice.
Oh, would it be your choice too?
I think so.
Yeah.
There's that or Pop Century, because I feel like Pop Century is right next to it and has the Skyliner and all that.
There we go. That's actually what I was going to say. And I think that's another reason why I justify it as well. It might not have a monorail, which is fine, but it's not a resort that you have to rely solely on buses.
Yeah.
There's different ways of getting, like, especially to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, that's how you would get there. You would take the Skyliner, and you can walk across.
Yeah.
I think it's Hourglass Lake. Is that where it sits?
I'm not sure. I have no idea. But
I believe so. But you can walk over to Pop Century, and the value resorts, their food, their dining there, they don't have signature dining there, right? It's not, you don't need to make a dining reservation to eat at any of the value resorts. It's almost like a cafeteria style food court, kind of. Maybe that's a better term for it, not cafeteria. Food court, as if you were like going to the mall, in quotes.
There's a lot of people that are there, so
right.
That makes sense.
But that's, to me, like, I love that because, okay, we love the Polynesian, right? We love going there, but going to Captain Cook's and trying to find a seat, even for 2 people, is literally impossible, especially, on peak hours.
Yeah.
The value resorts have, it's huge. It's literally like you're going to a food court in a mall. There are so many places. You don't have to worry about seating. And the options, they always have all these different options for food. I just think that Art of Animation is a great place to start if you've never been to Disney World.
Definitely. And like, the food is good. And you're there just to eat and get out and go to the park, really, and that's kind of what it's made for. And also the transportation, like we said, the Skyliner, the bus, is the only way you can really go. But you can rent a car. Like, there's a lot you can park near where you're staying, sort of. The bell service is really good.
Yep.
You get things delivered. I don't know. I just, all around, I've always enjoyed that there, and I think that is a good starting point for somebody that's never been. Yeah. Because you're also, like you said, immersed in with the Cars or the Little Mermaid or Lion King or whatever, and it's perfect.
I am so distracted. I'm sorry, because there's a huge 1,000-foot crawler on the wall behind us going into the sign.
Okay.
I'm sorry. The weather's changing here in New Jersey. I am so distracted.
It's gonna get stuck.
Oh no!
I'll kill it.
We are in the basement, so that's where we record.
Oh, don't tell people. They're gonna come find us.
I'm sorry. Okay, let's get back to. I don't do bugs, so that's
don't worry. It won't hurt you.
That's my biggest problem. You brought up a good point though that I just want to bring up. you said that you're in and out, right? So if you're going to Disney World for the first time, that's literally what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, depending on how long you're going for, you might have a day off where you want to enjoy your pool, or you want to go to Disney Springs, or even go off property, whatever, you know, you want to do on your day off. But if you're going to Disney World for the first time, yeah, you are in the parks. You want to experience everything. So you're not really in your room the full time.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point.
And I also suggest, I know this isn't like really what we were going to talk about, but I suggest taking the buses, because you won't know your way around with the car. I mean, yeah, you have GPS, but you're going to be fully immersed in the bubble and in Disney. And that to me is the most important detail of all of this.
Right.
Is that you're immerse yourself. Because we did that in the beginning, and it made the trip for me, because like we didn't have to drive, we had to worry about where we're going. We get on the bus, they take us there, we go home. Little we know that it takes a lot of time out of the trip a little bit, but again, it's I think it's worth it, especially the first time, so that you don't get lost.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't, have any surprises and dealing with the TTC and all that. Like, the bus will take you right to the front, basically, almost to the front of the parks. So it's easy.
So that's where we suggest you stay if you, on your first trip to Disney World. So now, Ryan, let's go with food. Let's go with food.
Well, food's a good one.
So someone's visiting Disney World for the first time. Let's go with a table service restaurant, right?
Okay.
So they have to make an ADR. You have to make a dining reservation, advanced dining reservation for this. Where is what's a place that someone needs to go to eat on their first trip?
I'm going to say Chef Mickey's.
Ooh, okay.
Because
it's a good choice.
It's characters dining. You get to see all the classic characters. We get Minnie, Mickey. Minnie's there, right?
Minnie is there,
Minnie,
yes.
Mickey, Donald, and Goofy.
Yes. And Pluto.
So the 5 of them.
Fab 5.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't really get to eat. You do, but you don't. But at the same time, I'm looking for being immersed in the Disney, world, the Disney World. But you get pictures with them.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, you'll have pictures with all those characters, and you have a buffet to choose from food that you want. We've never actually had lunch or dinner there. It's mostly breakfast, but it checks 2 things off right there, where you have good breakfast, good character dining. It's a little expensive, but I mean, if you're going to Disney the first time, you're planning on spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's near Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom.
I was like, it's in Disney World.
The Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you can walk there after. That's the other plus is you have to figure out. You could get dropped off by the bus from Magic Kingdom if you're planning on going there, and walk over there to Chef Mickey's. So I think it has a lot of pluses. I have a second choice, but it's not as Disney related.
Well, it's not as Disney related.
Like, it's in Disney. It's Kona Grill or Kona Cafe, whatever it's called. What is it called?
Oh,
Kona
okay.
Because I love the Tonga toast and all that, and it's fun, and like it's also near the Magic Kingdom. But I think that
for
Chef
someone's
Missy,
first trip, you
yeah,
would
because
send them
those
to Kona?
they're like one of my favorite places to eat. So.
Well, yeah, no, Kona's great. I was just surprised if you would send somebody there on their first trip.
Well, that's why I didn't pick it. It was like more Chef Mickey's because of the character experience, and it's good food too. Honestly, I've never had any bad food there. So
yeah, I agree with you. That's not my pick, but I do agree with you on the character experience. Again, whether you're going with a family and there are kids involved, or you're going, an adult-only trip, if it's a couple, or, whatever your situation is, I think a character meal in general is a great way to get a little bit of everything crossed off the list. One thing you did bring up that I think is a really good suggestion if you are trying to save money, even though you're spending money, is to go to a character dining meal, whether it's Chef Mickey's or not. pick breakfast.
Yeah.
Because breakfast is cheaper, especially if you have the kids and they, you have to pay for them because once they turn 3, they cost money.
Yeah.
So breakfast, that's kind of why we normally stick to the breakfast when we do character meals.
Well, like the biggest plus to me is that you get to meet all those characters, get a picture with them.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the park, it's like half hour, 40 minutes, an hour to meet one of them.
That's true. Yeah.
Sometimes depends, but I think especially too Goofy is harder to meet now for some reason, but now he's in Epcot again, which is good. But like you get that with your dining, and that's an ultimate Disney experience right there.
So I went with a character meal as well, but I didn't go with Chef Mickey's. I went with Garden Grill.
Oh, okay, that's a good one too. Yeah.
And obviously, I'm going to suggest breakfast because again, the price it's totally different. It's a little cheaper to go breakfast than it is lunch and dinner. But I went with Garden Grill. That's located inside the Land Pavilion in Epcot. And the reason why I went with that is, again, characters. So there is Mickey, Pluto, and Chip and Dale. And Garden Grill's a little unique because the restaurant rotates.
Yeah.
You don't really feel it. You don't feel it. If you get motion sickness, that has it's not even close to that. It is so slow that you don't feel it, but you can see it, right? And the cool thing about it is as it rotates, you can kind of see into Living with the Land, the beginning of Living with the Land, the ride, because it's actually, it sits right above the entrance.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was so cool. Another thing I really like about this one is that it's not a buffet. The food is family style, so you don't have to get up from your seat and worry about missing a character coming to your table or anything like that. They bring the food to you, and again, it's family style. So if there's anything more that you want, you say, "Oh, I want more Mickey waffles." I don't know, just an example. They'll bring it to you. And one thing we loved was the salsa they brought. They make this salsa from the Living with the Land rye, the crops and everything that they grow, they make it fresh, and it was just so good. But that's what I recommend if you're going to Disney World for the first time. Check out Garden Grill inside Epcot, and that's another thing. You're already in a park. You're already inside the park. So plan it for an Epcot day. The day you're going to Epcot. And another reason why I always recommend breakfast if you're gonna go to any type of dining or anything like that. What we like to do is make a ADR for a breakfast reservation on our Epcot day because we like going to the booths and eating around the world. Oh yeah. Especially if there's a festival. That's what we like to do throughout the day. So we don't want to have to be like, oh, we're going to get full on snacks and the booths, and then we have, an ADR at Via Napoli or whatever, even though Via Napoli is really good. Yeah. So that's my suggestion.
I like the whole Land Pavilion, the area. Like walking in there, it's totally 80s. Like you got Soarin', you got Living with the Land, you got the movie that's playing there now. It's a different movie now. And you got a quick service place to eat. So everything's, and Garden Grill, obviously, is what you said. So I think there's a lot to offer in there, especially when it rains. It's a good place to go.
Yes.
But I just like the vibe in there.
The only thing they don't allow you to do inside that pavilion is take your stroller inside. So if you are traveling with a stroller, you will have to keep that outside. But
they don't let the stroller. You can bring it in, but not in Chef Mickey's either. So
yeah,
two good places.
Yeah, you could bring it inside the Contemporary. Yeah. So obviously, character meal is something that we're suggesting if
character
you're going
meal,
to Disney World for the first time.
And Art of Animation for sure, one of the best places to stay. So.
Yeah, and since we're on the food, we'll stay with food for a second. What about like a snack? Like what's something? So like I would suggest like if you're in Magic Kingdom, if you're an ice cream fan, go to the ice cream parlor. I mean, they got that all-American sundae. It's got like hot fudge and peanut butter sauce, and it's chocolate and vanilla ice cream. It's just good ice cream. And I know there's a million snacks around. I know what you're gonna say. I wasn't gonna say. I thought you were gonna say the cheeseburger spring roll.
Oh well, yeah, that's the best.
You got it. You have to go to that.
You have to try that, and no one can make it like Disney does.
Yeah.
We tried, but they're still good.
Yeah.
We still make them, actually.
Yeah.
We should do that again.
It's actually really hard to suggest snacks because there's just so many good ones, and they're depending on the season. Disney World is always pumping out, different stuff. I mean, if you're a coffee lover, get a Joffrey's coffee. Starbucks you can get at home. Get a Joffrey's coffee if you like.
Joffrey's
if you're a coffee
chicken Jamaican's really good. Iced coffee. Also Dole Whip or churro I would go with as long as they're fresh. I didn't get a fresh one. I went how many times?
You got it. It was like late.
Years I've waited, and I was stale a little bit.
Whatever.
But yeah, we can watch our vlogs on YouTube for that one. But I don't know what trip it was in. I finally got one, but we were always mentioning it as a snack. The popcorn is really good too, actually. Jagger and I ate a lot of the popcorn last time. They have so many. I mean, I think snacks is actually the best thing to do.
Yeah.
When you're hungry, the pretzel's good, but I would go with Dole Whip as number one, or cheeseburger spring rolls, because they are incredible. I always want more.
Let's pick one ride, and this doesn't have to be your favorite ride.
No, I know.
So let's do one ride in each park, all four parks, that are kind of like, it's your first trip. You gotta ride this ride. How do you not ride this ride going to Disney World?
It's hard.
Okay, I'll start.
It's hard. You go first.
I'm gonna go with. Let's start with Magic Kingdom. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's the hard one for me.
Oh, so you want to do that last?
Let's
you want
do
to think about it?
You go first.
I'm saying Dumbo.
Okay.
I'm saying Dumbo. That is, if I had to pick a ride in Disney World that literally is like the poster ride of Disney World, it's Dumbo.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? It's either that or Small World.
I would do.
And a lot of people think Small World's annoying.
I've been tossing and turning with you two.
Don't pick your favorite ride just because it's your favorite.
But you have to experience it. I think Peter Pan, actually.
Good luck.
Because, well, there's a line. But I think it's really, that's Disney to me. I don't know. That, and like you said, that whole section, maybe Small World, Peter Pan. Obviously, I'm going to say Haunted Mansion, too, in there because there's nothing like it anywhere else. You can go on a ride like Peter Pan somewhere else. Or Small World, I guess. Well, Small World, there's nothing like that really either.
I'm not saying they're not riding multiple rides. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if you're going for your first time, like, this is the ride you have to ride.
It's hard. It's hard. That's why I really think either Peter Pan or Haunted Mansion. Just because there's nothing like Haunted Mansion anywhere. And to me, it's fun. It's fun at the end. It's a little spooky. You're in the Doom Buggy. It's a good experience.
Okay. Let's hop over to Epcot.
Okay, Epcot.
I already know what you're going to say. Why don't I just answer for you? Yeah, Figment, exactly. I'm going with Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, that one's good too. Those are the two.
What do you mean? Sure. It's not like just good though. Like Spaceship Earth is Epcot. You're in you're in the ball. Yeah. You're in the Epcot icon.
Oh, I agree.
Spaceship Earth. You have to ride Spaceship Earth if you're going to Epcot.
I can't. But you can't miss Figment.
You can ride both. You can ride both. Just don't miss Spaceship Earth.
It's true. It's true. I like Spaceship Earth too. It's a must. It's a must do. Definitely. Yeah. I think if you've never been on that ride, you have to go on it.
That's what I'm saying.
And people don't believe there's a ride inside of that most of the time. So.
Yeah, look at it.
Yeah,
it's very impressive.
And they're gonna somehow update it.
They need to. They do need
just
to.
At least the track.
But just tweak it. Like, don't change my whole... I'm obsessed with Spaceship Earth. I love it so much. I'm afraid of what they will do to it. But it does need a little bit of tweaking. It does.
All I think they need to do, I mean, if you want to really know, I think this the track ride, the track part of it, it's neat. You can hear it. It needs replacement. And maybe the very beginning of it, when you go up to You see the big screen with you can't really see it. I think that just needs to be updated, like you need brighter a little bit.
It's pretty dark in there.
Well, certain parts, but I mean that's what the ride. There's a lot of dark rides, so
yeah.
And so I agree with Spaceship Earth, but also hop over to Figment.
Do both. It's fine.
Yeah, Figment's no line. You're good.
Poor thing. Let's do Animal Kingdom.
Okay, this one's hard too, kind of, because there's not a lot of rides. But I kind of feel like I want to say not even a ride. I want to say you have to go to Pandora, the land, and you can do the rides there, 2 of them. You have to experience that there because we have to do it at night with the lights because we really haven't before.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would say Pandora at night.
Yeah. Okay.
Get your Night Blossom.
Yeah. Get your Night Blossom.
Wait in line for an hour and a half at Flight of Passage, and then go over to River Journey. Whatever.
We 100%, if you can afford it, recommend getting the Lightning Lane for sure, because certain rides. This one's actually tough for me because I love Flight of Passage. I'm obsessed with Pandora. I love that whole land.
Yeah.
Both rides, everything about it. But I'm going with Kilimanjaro Safari. Because again, that is Animal Kingdom. You're there to see the animals. Mm-hmm. So that would be my one suggestion for Animal Kingdom. Yeah. And it's for all ages too.
Yeah, we always do it. I think that's a great answer. There's nothing, I'm trying to almost pick like things that there's no way you can ever do this somewhere else. Almost too, where you experience something incredible, and the way that they designed Pandora.
You know what? That's a good point. I understand what you're saying. That's a good point. And you know what? They have the 2 rides in Pandora for, again, whoever you're traveling with. Yeah. The adults and kids, depending on their age, can go on Flight of Passage, which, again, you know what? You're right. Pandora, Flight of Passage is just such a great ride. Yeah. And then you have Navi River Journey, which I mean, you could bring a baby on.
It's always busy there, though. But you can also walk around and see all the different things that they designed there. They can play little drums there. Mm-hmm. There's waterfalls. Like, it's relaxing. You can eat. The quick service food is really good. Yeah. The drinks there are good. I'm not even... Like, I loved Avatar. It was great. But it's not, like... fantastic to me, but I still love that land. It's so good.
You don't have to see the movie to understand what's going on, especially on the rides. That you'll get an explanation on Flight of Passage, especially. Yeah. But that's a very good point. I love their music loop because it's not a full music loop because it's the sounds of Pandora. Like you can hear the banshees, you can hear the plants. The
bugs.
It's so cool. Oh my gosh, I know. Great. This is gonna be. If you don't know what we're talking about, just go to this episode on our YouTube page. There was you could totally see it on the camera. Okay. Like go up the sign. I know you.
Not even see it. You probably can't even tell.
Well, I made a big deal about it, so you can probably go back and watch it. Okay, so let's go to Hollywood Studios now.
This is hard.
Oh, is it?
I think because there's 2 iconic things there now.
Yeah, that's true.
And to me, I don't know. Actually, 3 now that I think about it.
Well, if you've never, ever, ever been to Disney World before, I am obviously going to say Tower of Terror because I am a big MGM fan, and the other 2 that I know you're talking about were not there when it was MGM. Well, I'm assuming I know what you're talking about. Unfortunately, the Great Movie Ride is no longer there. It's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is amazing, yes. And if you can get on it, yes, do it. Yeah. But you can't go to that park without going on Tower of Terror. It's iconic. Yeah. It is the icon. It's just been there for so long. That's just my opinion.
I won't go on it. But I know. If you're... See, this is what I'm going to say. How about this? If you're scared of heights like me, and you're going to Disney... Don't pick that one.
That's fair. That is fair.
Pick Rise of the Resistance or the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mickey and
said-
Minnie's Runaway Railway.
No,
My
I said
bad.
those two.
No, there
That
you
was
go.
there originally, and that's something that you don't really get to see anywhere else.
Yeah.
And but you can go on. Hollywood Studios would not be the same without the Tower of Terror and that's why I think that's why they didn't get rid of it, because in California they changed it to Guardians, but there's never going to do that here because I think people would go ballistic.
Well, what would they do? Because the back of Tower of Terror is if you're in Epcot and you look at World Showcase a certain way, it's actually part of Morocco, is it?
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, you've never noticed that? Oh yeah,
That's
it looks
interesting.
like it's part of the pavilion.
That's smart.
So if you change Tower of Terror, how does that work?
I don't think they will. And
No,
I think
I hope not.
I have been on it a couple times, and it's been fine.
Yeah.
But I choose not to go. Maybe I will again, because I was daring. This last trip I went on Guardians of the Galaxy, spoiler alert, and that was crazy.
Yeah,
And,
I warned you, but you didn't
I had
believe
no
me.
idea. I had no idea what I was in for.
Did not believe me.
Oh my God.
I told you.
I'm having flashbacks from it. But yeah, so I definitely agree with you. Tower of Terror. But again, if you're like me, scared of heights, don't want to go on it, I would do Rise of the Resistance is something you cannot experience anywhere else, and Disney does it the best way possible. It is incredible. There is a little drop, but it's not that bad. And I mean, just the way that it is set up, it's just a huge experience that you can't miss.
Yeah,
So-
yes.
And Indiana
You're
Jones is something else too that's just completely different. Like if we had to pick a show, I'd pick that one.
Yeah, and I was to close this. I was gonna say that's a good choice, and I definitely agree. But my heart sits with Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
It's a great way to end your Magic Kingdom day. If you're able to stay for the fireworks, I promise you will not be disappointed. It is such a great show. I know if you're a Wishes fan, that means you've been to Disney World before. So I'm clearly not speaking to you because, I'll be biased too when they get rid of Happily Ever After and a new show comes in. It could be so amazing to other people, but you just, nothing will compare to Happily Ever After for me. So if you're able to stay and watch that show, it's a little late, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, depending on the time of the year. That is the fireworks show, the projection show on the castle. It's just so amazing.
I just think that Disney in general, whatever fireworks show you like, which I completely agree with you because the way that it's all set up, Happily Ever After, there's emotion in it. The song is amazing on its own. They combine all those great shows, the movies and lines and Tinkerbell coming down from the cat. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
But in general, they do fireworks like nobody else. Yeah, any of the parks. So experience a fireworks show, whatever it is there.
Yeah, you're either going to see
To
it at
top it
Magic
off.
Kingdom or at Epcot. Hollywood Studios doesn't do one, and Animal Kingdom can't, obviously, because of the animals. But there are, different shows that happen. Like, go to Fantasmic if you're in Hollywood Studios. Like, that is just...
It's hard to do everything, but that's something that you definitely... We didn't go right away either for that, but it's definitely... There's definitely certain things... There's definitely more to do, but I think all these things are must...
Yeah.
You must do if it's your first time there.
Yeah, and we're not travel agents. We're not. These are just things that we've experienced and we've studied on. Because we like to watch stuff and read stuff and all that kind of stuff. But we've been going for so long and so many times that there are things that we've experienced that that we just like to share with other people. So if you ever have a question, you can absolutely send us a message, and we would give our opinion or at least give you what we know. We're not experts, but we try.
Experience.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of thought that this would be a good episode to just kind of give certain I don't know, certain tidbits, I guess.
Well, yeah, I feel like it's like about the Disney experience and wanting, because if you have a good time the first time, you're going to want to go back again. So these are things that I think that are important to do, and then you'll want to come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's good to do something like this, because if someone has no idea,
right,
what it's about or what to do, or they like Disney but they don't know, like, you know, these are things that are perfect, I think, on a list to do.
Yeah.
In Disney World.
Right. So again, you have any questions, or, you know, if you're visiting for this first time and you don't know where to go, or, you know, how to book this or anything like that, our inboxes on all social media platforms are open. You can comment on this video if you're watching on YouTube.
Yep.
You know,
we have an email too. AdventuresInWeberland@gmail.com.
Yes.
So you can email us there, or social media is easy too, because we always answer everything.
Yeah.
So even comments on YouTube or on anywhere you can find the podcast. So thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next Adventures in Weberland. Oh wait, that's not right. I did it wrong again.
That's how you end our videos,
time. But now, I was good for a couple times, right, guys?
Go ahead, try again.
Okay. We will hang out with you on the next Adventures in Weberland.
There you go.